Yeah, welcome to another Witty Wednesday right here on Click Naija Internet Radio. Now, I choose to call it a Witty Wednesday because it's a day in the week where you get to decide how the rest of the week will be, depending on how you started the week, from Monday, Tuesday, it's the middle of the week. I usually have weekly goals. So when they are not fulfilled or when they are not achieved, I begin to panic once it's Wednesday. I'm like, okay, have I dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's and go through my checklist and make sure that I have every arrangement well covered. Well, that's by the way, my name is Jennifer Ogo on the program, and it's Love Angles, a program where we get to talk about romantic relationships and how to make them work better. Yes, and we'd like to know from you, would you break up with your partner if they made out with someone else? The question is right there on your screen. Would you break up with someone, like if your partner makes up with someone else, making out, is that enough reason for you to just end the relationship and just call it quits because it's something you cannot tolerate in the relationship? Now, when we fall in love, we often believe that a relationship will last forever, the happily ever after kind of feeling. We always hope that this one is the one. Like, you just want to know that this your partner. You just envision a lot of futuristic plans, with your partner. um yeah, so when you would you break up with your partner if they made out with someone else? That is what we want to find out on the program today. Now, what we fail to realize is that problems will come in the relationship, and that is the aspect that we try to dock and ensure that it never gets to us. All right, sometimes those things that happen during breakup, sometimes they are just inevitable. Relationships end for a variety of reasons. Conflict is one of the most common reasons, but sometimes it involves other reasons that mean ending a relationship with someone you still care about. So on the other hand, you might be thinking, I still care about this person, I love this person with all my heart, and I just want to have a future with this person. But due to this major constraint, due to this major obstacle, I don't think I would just continue my relationship with this person. Now, to make out is a phrase that can be used in different contexts of spoken English. But on the program today, to make out with someone else other than your partner simply means making out in terms of so it's a term that was derived, that has an American origin, which is referred to as either kissing or acts of sexual contact without having intercourse. Now, cheating is one of those really tricky subjects where everyone has like diverse opinion. All right, some people think cheating could be something physical. So if you have a physical connection or physical contact with someone, that's enough reason for you to call it's you know an act of cheating, while other people consider it to be like an emotional affair. So if it's an emotional affair, it's just a deal breaker for some people. Now, some partners break up over these reasons, while on the other hand, other people choose to work it out. It all depends on the individual situation. So that is what we want to know from you. Would you break up with your partner if they made out with someone else? Yes, would you break up with your partner if they made out with someone else? So in this scenario, it all boils down to our intentions. Like right now, that is what we want to hash out now on the program today. So we're actually playing three cards here. Three cards. So um I would just want to know, if you find yourself in this situation, these are like the most likely factors now that might just contribute to that act of making out. Now, did you make out based on your emotions, or reckless abandon, or a mistake which could be as a result of drunkenness or even loneliness? Loneliness, I don't think, is enough reason for you to make out though. Seriously, in a relationship. But these three cards could, play a major role that could influence that act of making out. So it could be due to emotions, it could be just, reckless abandon. You just want to do it because, you don't care, you just want to live life and enjoy life. All right, that falls under the category of reckless abandon. Or a mistake, which could be as a result of drunkenness or even loneliness. So these are some common factors, like I've told you, that could lead to a makeout session. Which one aren't you playing with? That is what I want to find out on the program today. So if your partner makes out with someone else, is it enough reason for you to end that relationship? Like, if he or she decides to not, because at the end of the day, you wouldn't want to do something that would hurt your partner intentionally. So if your partner peradventure makes out with someone else due to these three reasons or factors I've listed out, is that enough reason for you to end the relationship? Now, so let's focus on the most sensitive card here, really sensitive and dicey at that. So that is the emotional attachment now involved in a makeout scenario. Now, what to do if you're in a relationship but you are attracted to someone else, according to experts. So they've actually highlighted some of the steps you could take when you find yourself in this triangle or on this crossroads. So feeling attracted now to someone other than your romantic partner is one of the most troublesome dilemmas people can have in a monogamous relationship. It's a different scenario if it's an open relationship. You know that you can just do whatever you like and throw caution to the wind. But in a monogamous relationship, you've actually, you know, chosen to be committed to each other and committed with trust. But it's also one of the most common, yes, like feeling attracted to your to someone else other than your partner. I was having a discussion with Remy a few hours ago. He was actually supposed to be in this program, but he said he can't make it to 6 o'clock. He needed to go, his TGIF maybe starts early for him. But so moving on, yeah, so feeling attracted to someone else, it's very common in a relationship. But a survey found that as many as 50% of people in relationship have had feelings for someone other than their partner, while 1 in 5 confess to being in love with someone else. At a point in time in your relationship, now we're not talking about marriage. Marriage is a different ball game, like it's a ride or die thing. Now, in a relationship, especially if you're the kind of person that you last long in a relationship, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years kind of thing. Yeah, you're in my team. The team for the long term, all right? So if you're in that sort of relationship, at some point you might get bored and you just feel like a partner is not enough. You're not getting that attraction you had initially when you both met each other in the first place. So you might just decide to, maybe try someone else. It might not really be love, but you're just attracted to that person, just a careless crush. There is a way to actually address this issue. Trust me, it's normal. There is nothing wrong with you. Now, for the guys, they might be thinking, okay, I've just been in this relationship for a long time. Like, I think I'm out of the game. I don't even know what it feels like to, check a girl or something. And they might just want to get their groove on and just flirt around and probably have 1 or 2 makeout sessions with someone else. But what we're trying to do is not to make it go to the point of like really being really emotionally attached to this person, and call it quits when it's necessary. And I'll have a first comment on the program. Simon Matthias, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure having you. Good evening and a happy Wednesday to you. And he's calling out Chukwuka Patricia. Yes, you guys, I need to have a comment on this particular issue. Chukwuka Patricia, would you? He's asking. So, Chukwuka Patricia, I'm expecting to hear from you. This could break me though. Cheating is hard to bear for guys. No, Simon, you're actually calling it cheating. Like, well, for different strokes for different folks. Not everybody would call a makeout cheating. Can it actually be qualified as cheating? Really don't know. It's just a very tricky question that I don't have one straight answer to. So, cheating is hard to bear for guys. Is it cheating? Remember, it's just making out. Kissing, is it cheating? A harmless work, or you know a handshake, could that be cheating? Making out just comes in like different phases and in different environments. But to me, I'm saying it all boils down to the intention, like your heart. When emotions are involved, it's really hard not to call it cheating. I would agree on you with you on that. But thank you so much for commenting on the show regardless. Once again, the program is Love Angles right here on Click Naija Internet Radio. And on the program today, we want to know if if your partner decides or happens to make out with someone else, is that enough reason for you to call it quits in that relationship? So would you go straight ahead to break up with your partner if they made out with someone else? That is what we want to find out on the program today. So I was talking to you earlier. I said, according to experts, there are things you could do in a relationship, especially when you are attracted to someone, because feelings sometimes is something that you really don't have control over, especially if if you've been in a relationship for a long time, and sometimes you might just think you're not getting that jive, like you used to get when you both met. When you meet someone for the first time, the person just feels like heaven and earth to you, like you go to the moon and back for that person at that point in time. Like it's your knight in shining armors, and she's everything to you. You won't even look at someone else. But after like maybe 6 months, even 3 months, 1 year, or even 2 years or 3 years, depends on who you are. At some point the relationship might become boring to you. So a situation where your partner makes out with someone else, probably by mistake or not even a mistake, and you find out, would you actually break off from that relationship? Now, what to do if you're in a relationship and you're attracted to someone? Number one is to consider how you feel about your current relationship. So this is very important. You're not a tree. No one is saying you should stay in a relationship forever. Remember, we are on this program, we're here to make your relationship work. Nobody's saying you should be in one relationship forever, especially when you're not really comfortable in that relationship. So number one is to decide how you feel about your current relationship. Consider the reasons why you're attracted to that other person, and is this something that is attracting you that your partner is not providing for you? Think about what is missing and address this with your partner in the first place, because at the end of the day, the grass is not greener on the other side. That is something you should know. So if you think there is something missing in your partner, or there's something your partner is not giving you that the other person is giving you, trust me, the grass might not just be greener on the other side. Hash it out with your partner, address the issue. All right. There is no need to bring your outside attraction into the conversation of this stage. At this stage, just try to evaluate and analyze. Okay, could it be the fact that my partner is so busy? Maybe we don't have as much time as we used to together, probably to hang out or to go out on dinner dates or something. Let your partner know, evaluate the conversation. So and of course, see how your partner actually responds to the conversation, and voila, problem is solved. And I have further comments now from Simon. Thank you so much for reiterating what cheating means now, especially to me. I really want to know, because here we are just seeing making out. Yeah. So according to Simon, cheating is a moment you avail yourself to someone else other than your partner. Okay, point taken. Although this could be a great time to talk things out with your partner, maybe there could be some missing slides, just like I said earlier. Maybe a time to bow out eventually. You could just have lost out in love. Yes. Thank you so much, Simon, for elaborating on your point. I think you just spelled it out like explicitly. At some point in time in the relationship, you might just feel like you're not in love with this person anymore, and you just start unknowingly start getting attracted to someone else, and you make up with that person. Would you actually say you cheated, or your partner? It's quite dicey. Remember, we are not talking about cheating here. I mean, there are people that cheat in the relationship, and their partner decides to forgive them, and the relationship just goes on like nothing even happened in the first place. So this is even like real cheating. But now we're talking about making out. Some people might consider it to be cheating, while some people might just consider it to be, nothing too significant. But we'd like to hear from you. Would you break up with your partner if they made out with someone else? Remember, we're still talking about how to deal with a situation where you are attracted to someone else and you are in a relationship. First, I said decide how you feel about your relationship, which Simon too, said in his second comment. In his second comment rather. Number two, identify your boundaries. Yes, this is where self-control comes to play. So it's normal to feel attracted to people when you're in a relationship. Remember, I told you that. So it can be harmless too. reckless abandon. Sometimes you just want to live life and you just don't want to feel like you're getting older, and you just want to see how you can catch your groove and see if you're into the game. A very reckless kind of feeling and a very, very unnecessary. It's actually unnecessary for you to play with that part of your life. All right. So it can be harmless too, so long as you can identify your boundaries. Part of being in a relationship inevitably involves managing attractions to other people and creating a boundary that prevents it from impinging on you and your relationship. Yes. So this is I give a scenario where you know that if you find yourself, there are people who find themselves in a confined, solemn, serene environment with the opposite sex, and they won't even think of anything, about you know what I'm talking about. Like their mind is just clean, they don't even have any ulterior motive whatsoever. While there are some people on the other hand that might not really have as much control, like they are really sensitive, their body is really sensitive, like they don't even trust themselves enough not to have anything physical with this person. So if you know you're that kind of person that probably don't have that much control over physical touch now, for instance, and you know clearly that there might be chemistry going on between you two, you don't even want to find yourself in that environment. Like there is no excuse. Like why will you say it's a mistake when you were in the room or in a very lonely place with this person and you know both of you might be attracted to each other? Like there is no excuse for that. You should definitely set boundaries. So if he or she offers to probably go out on a date with you or go to a very romantic place with you, and you know yourself and you just understand what's going on, like the environment, the intentions, your emotions, just simply say no. Establish a boundary. All right, especially if you have to see that person often and again. Yes, so engage with caution. Yes, so you need to be careful, especially if you have a crush on this person. It's inevitable. It's okay to have a crush on a fine girl or a fine guy. All right, especially if you might be having little flirty or sex texting online, and in your mind it's harmless because that person is not with you physically, but the truth is that this can escalate like so quickly, so you wouldn't want your partner to even stumble on that chat in the first place, that kind of chat. Some people might just decide to end the relationship from there. Now I got comments now online. Now these are random comments about issues related to this sort of scenario now in a relationship. The first one is from Sharon Mbiri, and she's saying not necessarily. People do make mistakes and learn from the pain caused in a relationship, not to mention their dignity. What is more important is for you both to talk about your feelings, about what happened. Relationships can recover from infidelity, but it takes work by both of you. If you can't forgive, then it will hinder any possible growth in your relationship. I'll suggest you see a couples counselor, focus on the family. Okay, that's for Sharon Hamid Muhammad saying, let me make it short. The problem is not that she will do it again or not. The problem is that you lost trust on her. Yeah. And even she never did it again and you keep doubting on her forever. So here my suggestion is that you should trust the person. Without trust, things will never go on. Thank you so much. That's a nice one now from Hamid. Nazar Trisha is saying it really depends on the motives and situations which led to the makeout. So if she made one mistake but is honest and transparent now and seeking real change to prevent the problem from reoccurring, it may be worth it to endure and rebuild the relationship. However, if she blames everyone but herself, refuses to seek treatment, or continue in a pattern of cheating, she's not mature enough to be in a relationship. So she should go. Also, if you feel you can never totally forgive her or feel safe in a relationship, there is no need to stay. It's okay to say goodbye if you feel trust has been forever lost in that relationship. Now, finally, from Jennifer Stevens, now a random comment now I got online. I don't exactly believe the old adage once a cheater, always a cheater. I do think circumstance plays a part, But I think if you cheat on someone, your love for them is compromised. You deserve to be with someone who will be faithful instead of having to struggle through forgiving and getting over this just for a person who didn't love you enough to be faithful. Thank you so much. To everyone watching, I'm still expecting more comments from you guys. Would you break up with your partner if they made out with someone else? Once again, the program is Love Angles that comes up every Wednesday on your screen on Facebook. Yes, and of course on YouTube at Click Naija. And my name is to Jennifer Ogo. If you've not hit the like button, do so now. Make a comment and of course share. Invite someone to watch and let them learn one or two things about how a relationship should thrive regardless of the situation. All right, have a fabulous time and endeavor to join us next week for another time out on Love Angles. Bye bye.